Hi, I am recording this video as part of a tutor tag I have been invited to. I've received a nice video from Sarah from Edward's Tutoring. She teaches psychology and criminology, and she said, "Oh, would you like to take part into this project where you introduce yourself? You only need to answer 4 questions, and then you can introduce other tutors after you." And I thought, you know, that's great because I've been teaching tutoring online since January, February. I started to have more students. And in all this time, I've come across lots of tutors in lots of different subjects. And I have noticed that when my students need a tutor, they're all a bit like, oh, are there other tutors online? Where do I find them? So I think this is a great way to build a community, also to network with other tutors. So let's answer those questions. The first question I've been asked is number one, what do you tutor? Well, that's an easy question, or maybe not. I tutor Latin, and Latin is part of all the classic suits. So I also branch out to do a bit of Greek and classical civilization if it is needed. But my main subject is Latin, and I do that all the way from the 13 plus up to A level and university entrance. The second question is, let me check, why do you tutor? In this case, Latin and classics. That's not a difficult question. I love languages. I've learned many languages during my life. I don't remember all of them. It's not necessary. I just study them because I like them, and some I use more, some I use less. But I love languages on the one hand, and then I also love ancient history. And of course, if you like languages and you like ancient history, you are bound to end up at some point coming across classics. And I went to university and I focused on Indo-European studies, and I did Latin and Greek, and I thought, fantastic. A little bit of Sanskrit, really interesting. And when I came out of university, I wasn't going to drop that. So I started teaching Latin and classics, but I also had this interest in learning modern languages that you can speak and travel around, etc. So I have also been teaching MFL, and I think that shows in my Latin teaching. I bring some of the communicative approaches from MFL into my Latin. So I'm getting off track here. The question was, why do you tutor Latin and Greek? Well, yes, I love languages and I love ancient history. That's what I was saying. And I find that if you love these two subjects, what better way is there to take it further than enjoy it with other people and learn it together with them? I know that some people hate Latin. I'm aware because they call me on the phone and they say, oh, my son hates Latin. Oh, my daughter was in tears about her grammar last night. Well, those are my favorite cases because I just get in and say, okay, let's sit down, let's get it done, let's enjoy this a little bit. Obviously, you can't force anyone to enjoy it, but I do enjoy it myself. So generally, people end up jumping in and enjoying it with me. So yeah, I get to talk about history, I get to talk about mythology every day, which to me is like a dream. The next question, question number 3, is, where do you tutor? Well, this office you see here, this is not a Zoom background, this is my actual office. This is in London. I live right by the River Thames. I love the River Thames and I go there every day. I do mudlarking. So yes, I am in London. I am next to the British Museum, etc. I can teach in London when there's no lockdown. I can teach personally here, but all my students at the moment are online, and I love tutoring online because I have all my resources there. I have plenty of tools that I can use. I can focus, the student can focus. We don't need to move anywhere. It's all about learning. So I just think it's just great. So yeah, I tutor online and in London. And 3, when did you first start to realize that tutoring was for you? Well, for me, it has to be from my background. I started, the first time I worked in Spain. That was in the state schools with very many students, a large amount of students in my class. And that was very exciting and lots of fun, and we did lots of singing and group work. And I would still enjoy doing that, but that's not what I want to do all the time. I really like working one-to-one with students and seeing how they improve and creating individual plans for them and having the time and the ability to take their hands and walk together through the journey of learning Latin. So when I moved to the UK, I thought, uh, let's try to work in a school with smaller classes. And I started working in private schools. Obviously, with Latin, you tend to have classes that are on the smaller side anyway. But I started to work more in a way that resembles tutorials with maybe one student, two students, and lots of one-to-one sessions. And I absolutely loved it. It actually reminded me, I worked for a while as a diving instructor. And when I was working as a diving instructor, I used to think, oh, can you imagine if my Latin students were like so excited as my native students, where they're like, suddenly the day before they couldn't dive, and then a week later they're just diving on their own underwater and so happy. And I find that I can achieve that with tutoring because I have the time and the concentration and the resources to make it happen. So yeah, this is when I noticed um, why tutoring was for me. And oh, that was question number 4. I've covered all the questions. Excellent. So I'm going to tag 3 people. I would like to encourage you all, watchers who have made it to minute 6 of my video, to look at the people I have tagged below and also others tutoring and check out their videos as well. And we can have a bit of a conversation going. Bye.